Game number 2 here. Hoejja against none other than Savior. Right now, Hoejja has to be feeling pretty good. He won that last game. And, yeah, not much else to say.
Oh, back to what I was saying. Now the 6 o'clock position, you can equally saturate the gas.
Right.
Before the modification of the map, it'd be terrible to land on this location right here.
Yeah.
6 o'clock position.
You'd have to do something kind of all-in-ish.
And also, Terrans are having better winning rate on this map after the modification.
Well, Terran pretty much had a hard time on this map. This was not a map that was easy to win with in Terran versus Protoss or Terran versus Zerg. And wow, take a look at those stats. Hoejja at 23, Savior at 77.
This is what the fans feel.
Yeah, that's not a winning rate or anything like that. That is just what people had predicted.
The Savior is a household name now.
Of course, Ma Jae-yoon.
Ma Jae-yoon, yes,
Yeah.
but Go Gang-min, who's that guy?
Who's that guy?
But we all know Hoejja. Hoejja is more popular than his real name, I think.
Yep. Hoejja's certainly a good Zerg player, though, and Hoejja's really proving himself from that last game. Now, Hoejja goes for the early pull, followed up by a quick extractor. That might, I believe that was an overpull. Now, in case you're wondering what an overpull is, because I know I tend to get caught up in this kind of StarCraft lingo that is somewhat elitist almost. An overpull is when you get the Overlord first and then get a spawning pool and an extractor. It used to be spawning pool extractor, then an Overlord, but people pretty much realized, well, when I go for that fast spawning pool and extractor, nowadays, because the metagame has shifted a little bit, nobody really loses to a fast pool and fast gas. This is almost more for defense than offense.
Right now, Savior does have the extra drone play. So let's see how that's going to pay off.
Yeah.
Now, Hoejja's going to have to be very keen on being the aggressor once again to catch up here.
Yeah.
But as time goes, Savior will have the advantage. Not if Hoejja, of course, pulls it off.
Right. Now, the difference here also is that Hoejja's going to go for fast layer, Savior going to go for an expand. So Hoejja's going to be banking on quick Mutalisks, probably because of that last game. I think he's looking at that last game and saying, well, I just out-microed him. I might as well just go for a rush. I mean, an air rush here. Whereas Savior's saying, no, I want to go with economy.
You're right. And Savior, all he's got to do is, of course, he cannot be the aggressor now because he's going for the additional hatchery play. He's going to have to be on the defensive mode. And if he can just defend well, he will win because he will have that extra gas. Now,
Right.
Hoejja, on the other hand, he will have Fells to Mutas.
Right.
And the Zerglings, the speed and everything. So
Yeah.
he will have all the artillery he needs to be the aggressor and to attack him. Now, let's see how he does right here. He will have the Fells upgrade. And let's see how he will utilize that. Like, look at this. He needs a sunken and he is making it. It's better safe than to be sorry later.
Right.
You could lose few drones because of not having a sunken. And of course, sometimes vanity gets in the way, and having a sunken is a sign of weakness with these top class players.
I think Savior was pretty smart to cancel that hatchery.
Oh, yes.
He had to do that. I mean,
Very good.
yeah, I mean, you lose a hatchery in Zerg vs. Zerg, you've lost. I mean, your production rate has been cut in half, literally. Now, remember, though, that Savior is behind here. His layer is not done. He only has one hatch, and the Spire is already making for Hoejja. So Hoejja's looking really good. But whose Ling speed is going to finish first? Or will Hoejja even get Ling speed? But he's got to be careful because if Savior's Ling suddenly get the the speed upgrade, they can just run over Hoejja and go right to the base and win.
Now, Savior does have the extra drones, so if Hoejja's not too careful before his Muta surface, he can overwhelm him with his own Zerglings and just run in there and get a bunch of drone kills before the Mutas can do any damage to himself.
You gotta like Hoejja's creep colony placement here. Now note though that Savior has his Ling speed and Hoejja doesn't, which means that we're gonna have to have some perfect defense here by Hoejja. And where are the Zerglings trying to intercept Zerglings? Probably at the wrong time though. So far, good control by Hoejja, but not the best.
Great play by Savior because he's got a sunken. So with a good drone micro at his home base, he can defend well against the Zerglings from Hoejja. So he just went in there bravely and it's paying off because how many kills did he get on the drones?
I think there's only we don't see it on the unit counting station. I want to say 4 to 5 drones left.
And also to point out that he wasn't able to work.
It was not able to mine any.
Oh, gets another kill.
Drone, 3 drones left.
I think we will see the game 3.
Oh, I think so.
Look at this. Not enough drones to have good mutas in the future.
Hoejja should not have stepped out like this. He had the advantage. He threw it away.
I'm surprised the Zerglings did not go back. I think he was caught up in the dilemma of, do I go for the counterattack or do I go back to my own home base to defend?
I think that's exactly what happened.
Because there is a sunken at the Xavier's base, and I think he was a little bit worried about that. If he can just come out with Scourges, he needs Scourges.
Or mutas or anything. He needs to kill a drone, though.
Scourges.
And he's going to have to run. I don't think Hoejja has enough mutas here to take out a Scourge, even with perfect micro, so he has to retreat. No drones.
So all Xavier's got to do is defend.
One drone.
One drone is better than nothing. And Xavier knows all he's got to do is...
Now take a look at this, though. Hoejja is going to go ahead and just attack these drones again. He's actually getting a good amount of drones, starting to at least kind of squeak back over here, but no cigar, not enough mutas, and no way to make more mutas if you don't have an economy. And he does not have an economy.
Xavier is in a very good position right now. Very good position. You know, on top of canceling your additional hatchery, he was a little bit behind in the game.
Right.
But how he caught up here with the Zergling, how his Zerglings went around the map to the attack, it really paid off.
He really did. And now you got to say that I just don't think it's possible for Xavier to lose.
GG!
Good game. We're going to go on to game number 3. Pretty quick series here so far. Zerg vs. Zerg, probably the shortest matchup in StarCraft, actually, easily. I don't think anybody would disagree with that statement. So Xavier knows he's still in this. He's just got to keep his cool. He's got a lot of fans here in the studio that came to watch him play. Hoejja knows that he's going to have to be a little bit more careful because Xavier won't lose that easily. We're going to go on to our third map here.
Well, you know, he did have to extra drone, but he had to invest that into a sunken, and it paid off.
Right.
Not only that, canceling your hatchery just didn't look very well for Xavier.
Right.
But great play by Xavier.
Well,
he deserved that win.
Yeah, it was a well-deserved win, and certainly microed fantastically. You know, it's really easy to just mess up when you get your lanes inside the base, and the drones can kill you off if the drones are stacked. So he definitely played very well, especially considering you had to cancel that hatchery and move back and all that. Yes, we'll get ready for game number 3, and it's going to be happening any second now. It's between Xavier and Hoejja. And, yep, I'm ready. Are you ready, Super Daniel Man?
I am ready.
All right, well, let's do this thing. Well, players have confirmed that they're ready. Let's go. Right now. I'm sorry, I thought it was about to start. Okay, now it is.